What's going on, guys? So today we are out here at Ron Hoover RV and Marine in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we're going to take a look at this super compact, super cool with kind of this off-road flair Jayco J-Feather Micro. Now this is going to be a relatively light compact travel trailer that will really open up a lot of different tow vehicles to be able to tow, because it's not going to weigh a heck of a lot and it's not going to transfer too much tongue weight. But we'll talk a little bit about that as well as give you a full tour of this RV. Hang tight, I'll be right back. So this unit is going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of 4,995 pounds, so right under 5,000 pounds. It's going to have a cargo capacity of 885 pounds, and this is going to ride on one single 4,400 pound axle. Now this specific unit, in my opinion, is half-ton towable easily. You can generally tow this by most half-tons that are on the market. Now there are some half-tons that just don't have the capacity or capability, especially depending on how old it is and what engine transmission it was configured with. There's some V6 half-tons, for instance, that only have like a 5,000 pound maximum towing capacity, or even less than that. But most half-ton trucks that are moderately equipped, especially those with like a tow package, shouldn't have any problem towing a trailer like this. You could even tow this with things like an Expedition, probably a Dodge Durango, Ford Explorer, stuff like that, as long as you don't load this up too heavy and you pay very close attention to your tongue weight. Now, the dry tongue weight on this unit is probably going to be about 500, 600 pounds. But once you add 2 propane cans, which weigh about 50 to 55 pounds each, you're talking about an additional 100 pounds that are pretty much going to transfer to the back of your vehicle because of how far up they are on the trailer. On top of that, you're going to have to load some batteries on here. And if you load 1 battery, you're probably talking about 60 pounds. If you load 2, you're at about 120 pounds. So you could easily be upwards of about 230, 240 pounds worth of additional tongue weight resting on the back of your vehicle. So again, if you're at 500 pounds, you're easily upwards of 700 pounds, which you have to be careful that your tow vehicle is capable of handling that type of weight. And again, because most of that weight rests on the front of the RV, only a small percentage of that is actually going to transfer to the axle. So most of it's going to be on the back of your vehicle. I do like the look of this kind of rock slider down the side. In my opinion, it's more of a brush slider. I don't think you would really want to utilize those to slide against any type of a rock, considering the fact they actually aren't strong enough to be used as steps. So again, if you're going to be taking this in an area that might be brush covered, tall grass, they'll probably work fine, but they're not going to do a heck of a lot, to be honest. You have your front storage right here, and it's a lot of front storage, and you have a little table that's going to plug into this little receiver on the side that's designed to give you some utility components you can put on the side. But let's hop inside of this little travel trailer and see what it's all about. So this is the J-Feather Micro 166 FBS. This is actually one of my favorite floor plans because it's super compact, pretty affordable, and it still gets you out there camping and getting a lot of the luxury amenities you would expect to have. So at first, when you look at this unit, it looks cool because it doesn't look like it has any slide outs. But in fact it does. It has one single slide out right here, which when you push it out, it really will open up this floor space right here. But the reality of this unit is they could have gone without putting a slide in because there's still a lot of space in here. So this is one of those areas that they could have saved the cost and complexity by not putting a slide out in this unit and still giving you plenty of room to move around, but in a more compact footprint. But the nice thing about this is you can pop the slide out if you do want that additional space. Now, as we walk inside, the first thing you'll actually see is the price. It has an MSRP of $46,724, and it has a sale price of $36,999. So you're getting about 10 grand off of the MSRP, and you're getting a unit that, again, is pretty dang cozy. And it's very compact, and you can tow it with a lot of vehicles, basically camp and go. So you have this kind of a faux imprinted brick wall. It's not three-dimensional, even though it may look three-dimensional in the actual picture. You have a little single basin plastic sink here. There's your fixture up top. This is something you could easily swap out with a, a higher end fixture with like the little sprayer attachment on it. You have a 3-burner gas cooktop. I do not see an oven in this unit. You have some cabinets with storage below. Drawer right there, a little bottle opener. More storage here. More storage here. You have your compact refrigerator right there, plus you have some more storage right here. Furrion vent hood up top, and you want to be sure you look on the outside of this wall and open up the little vent cap on the outside if you're going to be using that, and I'll show you that when we get outside. Over here you have your TV, which looks like it came off of its mount, so that's a repair they'll do before you buy it. Drawer right here, drawer right here. And you know what, when it comes to something like this, I would rather it come off its mount on the way to the RV dealership. So they fix it, they do it right, they make sure it's fastened with better fasteners or it's secured the right way. That way you don't have to deal with it on your first trip camping. So that shakedown trip from the manufacturer to the dealership is really critical because it gives you the ability not to have to worry about things that they have to repair before it gets to you. All right, so you got a little charging port down there in the bottom, nice little ledge on this side. This looks like it's a full-size bed. It does not appear to be a queen-size bed. It just doesn't look like it has the width to be a queen-size bed. Nice valances, nice curtain too, that pulls across. You have a full sofa here, and this is going to turn into a bed. It's basically a Murphy bed that will fold flat by lifting up right here and then pulling it back. And then you also have a table that stands up behind it, so the table can then be used as your dinette when you're not using it as a bed. Lots of cabinetry here across the top. I like that they put some kind of decorative, cosmetic looking wallpaper in these areas, or panel board. This does have solar on it as well. Dometic thermostat. This is going to have one air conditioning unit inside. Stepping into the bathroom. Has a nice full bathroom, nice stand-up corner shower with shower curtain, plus some towel holders. This has a plastic toilet, plastic sink, medicine cabinet. It's a nice compact little bathroom. And oftentimes you don't get bathrooms this nice in RVs this small. You have your Furrion refrigerator here, and this looks to be 12 volts. So yeah, this is a 12 volt Furrion refrigerator freezer. Some pantry storage right here. There's all your breakers, fuses, and your furnace down here on the floor. Very nice. And I know there are a lot of folks who are going to look at this and they're going to think that's absurd. But again, without truly understanding what this was driven through to bring it down here, how many times the driver had to slam his brakes on, how many times he hit potholes, how many times certain things happened. Things like this happen. You know, if you're going to get into RVing, you might as well get used to it, because things will fall, things will break, things will get out of alignment, panels will start to fall off. This stuff will happen as you pull a predominantly wood, nailed, and screwed, you know, box down the road, and especially if you hit some type of, you know, inclement weather or some really adverse road conditions. And let me give you an example. It's kind of the scenario that if you own this and nothing was wrong in here, you had everything perfectly, you know, assembled, everything had no problems, and you're towing it down the road, and then you see that big pothole that you can't avoid, and you hit it and you feel it in your teeth in the tow vehicle, and then you look in your mirror and you just see the back tire of your RV hit that same pothole. You're likely going to want to pull over at a gas station, because you're going to think in your mind, oh, I hope something didn't break. I hope something didn't jostle loose. I hope something didn't fall off in the RV. Because if I felt it that harshly inside of the tow vehicle, imagine how hard it was inside of the RV with a far less sophisticated suspension system. So that's kind of the way of thinking about it. Stuff like this happens. It's got a long way to travel to get down to a dealership. But when you see it, you shouldn't really be like, you shouldn't be discouraged. You should just kind of consider it something that will happen. When you buy the RV, something's likely going to happen at some point. Whether it's caused by you, whether it's a reaction to something, or whether it was just, you know, something that was missed and it was poor assembly during the manufacturing process. Anyways, guys, let's hop outside of this travel trailer and see what it's all about. Okay, starting from the front, working our way back, you have a power front tongue jack. You have a spot for two 20-pound propane cans, spot for two batteries up front. Again, you kind of have this faux style brush guard. I don't really know what you would want to call it. It's not a rock slider, but you have that going around the outside, which makes it look really nice. And we all know cosmetics absolutely matters when it comes to buying stuff. Real quick, the frame. A lot of folks ask, does anybody else make frames other than Lippert? Yes, BAL makes frames, and they make them in a different fashion than Lippert does. So if you want to specifically see the pros and cons of each frame, you can definitely go to their websites, and they're all willing to brag about it. But it is a different style of frame. The front A-frame section is largely the same. It's a 2x6 nice boxed tubular section of steel. So you definitely want to be careful how you put your weight distribution bars on and how much you tension them down, because you can actually damage the front frame section of almost any trailer if you don't do it correctly. Right here is your IRV Chill compact refrigerator outside. If you don't want a refrigerator out here, you move this. That's a great spot to store an e-bike. You have your little 2-inch receiver here on the side, which is used to be able to put a table in and things like that. This is going to be the outside of your portable water. This is going to be your antenna, 110 output, as well as a mount for your TV. You have your Goodyear Wrangler tires on here as well. So that's a nice thing to see. A lot of people like to see ST tires on RVs, and these are LT tires. So yeah, you basically have an LT tire on an RV. And you know, whether you like an ST tire or an LT tire, they're fans of both. At the weight of this RV, that's a perfectly acceptable tire. It is a torsion style suspension as well, so that's also a nice big upgrade on this unit. You have a little propane connection here for your outdoor barbecue pit. MORryde step above steps here. You have your outside manual scissor jacks on the front and the back. You also have a power awning with LED light strip plus some outside speakers. And that right there is the vent I was talking to you about for the outside portion of your vent hood. You want to make sure that you pop these little flaps open, and that allows the air to ventilate out. If you keep those closed, you're just going to recirculate it inside of your RV. Coming around to the back, all LED lighting. There is no bumper on this unit. It is wired for a Furrion wireless backup camera, and you do have this really cool ladder that you can unclip off of it if you'd like to. But yeah, it's a very cool, kind of more robust ladder to get on the back. Outside of your furnace, your spare tires mounted nice up and high into this unit. This would be a lot easier to get off of here because you can just walk up, kind of take the bolts off and kind of heave it into place. Out here you have your cable satellite input. This is your 30 amp connection. You have all your sewer connections down here, outside shower, city water connection, and your black tank flush. Plus this unit does have a single slide on it, but that's really cool to see how the inside of this unit actually looks even with the slide in. There was still a lot of room in there, so you really don't have to push the slide out on this unit if you don't want to. That is very cool. Then up top you're going to have a cargo rack, so you'll be able to load things up on top, and you'll have your solar panel up there as well. Outside of your water heater, and then this is the other side of that pass-through storage, and it is pre-wired for your Furrion side view cameras as well. Very cool though. What do you guys think of this Jayco unit? Absolutely something I think people can get behind because it gives you so much in a relatively inexpensive package with a lot of off-road features that people are looking for. Anyways guys, please leave a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this unit. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.